again. עשה לך רב, קנה לך חבר, והבדן כל אדם לקו זכות. It's the sixth Mishnah in Masechet Avot. And the Mishnah is saying that you should make for yourself a rabbi, which is, Rabbi Nachman says that's the aspect of Malchut, rectifying the Malchut. The Malchut is the rabbi, because the Malchut is the one in charge. Rav, also the word Rav is like a leader. It's the one in charge. In Aramaic, Rav is the master, is a master.
Okay.
So, the next one is K'nei lecha chaver. The way Rabbi Nachman explains it is that it's not a separate instruction. It's just teaching us how to fulfill the first instruction. How do you rectify the malchut? Through K'nei lecha chaver. K'nei, we said, is also the word, the letters kuf nun hey, can also mean the throat of a person, or the place where the windpipe, where the voice comes from. The song comes from that. And we said that the song is the aspect, the song of holiness is the aspect that builds the malchut. So it builds the consciousness of the malchut. Right?
Okay. We did say that.
Yeah. So what's chaver? K'nei lecha chaver. So that's k'nei. What does it mean, chaver? So Rabbi Nachman says, k'nei lecha chaver, שמחבר על שני קרובים להיות פנים בפנים כמער איש ועדויות. He says, through the kaneh, through the windpipe, through the song, and building the malchut to its state of perfection, then the malchut is on the same level as kudsha brichu, and there's able to be a proper unification between them. And the kudsha brichu and the malchut represent the two kruvim. The two kruvim are represented by the kudsha brichu and the shechina. And like the Gemara says that when we are fulfilling Hashem's will properly, the two kruvim were face to face. That teaches us, that indicates that there's a unification between Kudsha Brichu and the Shechina. So, when it's telling us that through the kaneh, through the windpipe, through the song that comes from the windpipe, you should bring a unification, or you should combine the two. That's referring to the Kudsha Brichu and the Shechina, that you're bringing together, you're unifying through the tikkun that you did in the Malchut by the song that comes from the windpipe. That's what Rabbi Nachman is saying here. Like a man who is unified with his wife. When Bnei Israel are fulfilling the will of Hashem. So now the third part of the Mishnah, again, it's not a separate instruction. It is connected to the first two sentences. But once you rectified your malchut, and when a person, how does that manifest? When a person rectifies the malchut, how do you know that the person rectified the malchut? At that point, a person will have complete control over everything in the world. He will have complete control over all of life. He will have complete control over all of nature. It's like a famous story with Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair. Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair was the father-in-law of Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai. And at a certain point, he went to do the mitzvah of redeeming a captive, Pidyon Shvuim, which was a very, very big mitzvah. And he came to the river. It was a big river. And he told the river, please split. I need to get through. And the river said to him, no. So he said, I'm commanding you to split. I'm going to do a mitzvah of Hashem to redeem captives. So the river said, no, I'm also doing the mitzvah of Hashem to flow in my regular way, in my regular direction. So Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair said, if you don't split, then I will turn you completely dry. So instantly the river split, was afraid of him. Why? Because he has malchut. He has the power of control over all of nature, all all over the whole universe. And what happened was there was a man, another Jew that was with him. It was behind Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair. So after Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair went through the river and the rivers went back to regular, this Jew came through the river, and Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair said, hey, split for him as well. And the river was not going to argue with him, so the river split for him as well. And then after the Jew went by, there was an Arab, so he's not Jewish, an Arab guy, that was walking with them. I don't know why he didn't actually go through the river at the same time. Maybe he wasn't really, really close to them, but he was close enough to them. And Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair said that if you don't split for him, he's going to say, oh, they only do good deeds for themselves. They don't do good deeds for us. So Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair said to the river, split for him too, and the river split for him too. So the Gemara says, look how great Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair is, more than all of Am Yisrael, more than even Moshe Rabbeinu and Am Yisrael. By the Kriyat Yamsuf, they only had the Yamsuf split for them once, and here 3 times in one day. At one time, it was split for him. So that's the power of Malchut. It's the power of control over space, time, all of nature, the whole universe. Because the Malchut is Umalchuto bakol mashala, it says in the pasuk. Hashem's Malchut rules over everything. The Malchut is the power of running the universe, the power of controlling the universe. And when the tzaddik is connected to that, is included in that, so he has that power of ruling over the whole universe. That's the many miracles that the tzaddikim used to do, as we all know. So, says Rabbi Nachman, when you rectify the Malchut, now with great power comes great responsibility. He'll have control over everything and be able to make one person die and make another dead person alive, right? He has the power of life and death. Since he's able to kill people or bring other people back to life, so the world will be in a state of destruction if he doesn't use his power properly. And that's the end of the Mishnah. You should judge everyone favorably. Because Hashem doesn't want the world to be destroyed. He doesn't want the world to be in a state of destruction. He wants the world to be run with peace, with harmony, with love and acceptance. And that's why it's important that this tzaddik, who has the level of power over all of existence, should, in order that he uses his power properly, he should have this aspect of judging everyone favorably. So now Rabbi Nachman moves on, gets back to the point of the singing, the song, rectifying the Malchut. He says, he says there's a saying, people, they have an expression that they say that the chazans, the cantors, nowadays they are they're not such wise people. They don't have a lot of knowledge or da'at. They're foolish people. Okay, so they could have a good voice, but intellectually they're lacking. And that's what people say. He says, why is that? He says the reason is nowadays the Malchut of holiness is in exile. Since the song is drawn from the place of the prophecy, which is the consciousness of the Malchut of holiness, and now that the Malchut is in exile, and therefore the song that's drawn from that aspect that builds the Malchut will also be lacking. What is it lacking? It's lacking the consciousness. It's lacking the wisdom. And that's why the Chazanim are also lacking the wisdom, the da'at, the knowledge. That's why the Chazanim are lacking the da'at, because they don't have the power, the ability now to draw this song from the source and holiness, which is the consciousness of the Malchut of holiness. But when Mashiach comes, when we have, in the future, when we have the redemption, and the Malchut of holiness will be elevated to a state of perfection, and Hashem's Malchut will be in a revealed way, ruling over the whole of existence, the whole universe. At that point, the song of holiness will be rectified, will be elevated to its state of perfection as well, because it's drawn from the Malchut. And it will have this perfection of consciousness within the song, because the Malchut have this perfection of consciousness, the dat, right? And that's what it means in the pasuk. Was referring to, alluding to in the pasuk when it says, "For Hashem is the king of all the land, all of earth." Zamru maskil, sing intelligent one. So what is that? What's the connection? The beginning of the pasuk is telling us Hashem will rule over the whole land. His malchut will be in control of all of earth, all of the universe. At that point, that's the point where malchut is elevated to its state of perfection, its highest state. That's the continuation of the pasuk. Sing, O intelligent one. Zamiru maskil. Why? Because the zamiru, the ones that sing, will be intelligent. They will have that intelligence, that holy spiritual consciousness, that will be turned to them. And that's why zamiru maskil, those that sing will be maskil, they will be intelligent. Those chazanim that sing will have this dat, this intelligence, this holy intelligence. Through the fact that the Malchut of holiness will be elevated to its highest state, and it will be completed with its mochin, with its consciousness. And at that point, the Chazanim will also have the holy intelligence returned to them, and they will no longer be foolish. Shayach le'el, this is a footnote on the Torah. The pasuk, your kindness and your love is higher than the heavens. Shamayim u'bechinat kol. The heavens, the word shamayim, is an aspect of the voice. As it says in the pasuk, from the heavens you have sounded your voice. So we see that the voice comes from the aspect of shamayim, right? Shamayim is Kudsha Brichu, Aretz is Shechina. Kol, parallel to that, Kol, there's a person's speech comes from two aspects: the actual voice and the actual words. The voice is taken and turned into words. So the voice, it parallels the Kudsha Brichu, which is the Shamayim, and the speech parallels the Shechina, which is Eretz, the complete manifestation into separate entities, right? The voice is split up into words and letters, parts, and it's manifest, it gets given a form in action. Through the kindness, the light of the kindness, the thread of the kindness, the shining kindness that's shined upon someone who learns Torah, Torah Shabbal Peh, the oral Torah at night. We said that through that the voice is rectified, which comes from the Malchut. And that's what it means when it says that you caused your voice to be heard. No, ki gadol me'al shamayim chasdecha means that your voice, your kindness is higher than the heavens. So the heavens is the voice. So your kindness, but another way of reading it is ki gadol me'al shamayim chasdecha. It is big and it is great from the shamayim chasdecha. So another way of reading it is that the Shamayim is great from Chazdecha. The Shamayim, which is the voice,
Right.
the
Kindness
voice,
causes that to be great. The other way around.
the kindness is
Opposite cause
causing,
and effect.
yeah, the kindness is causing the Shamayim, which is the voice,
Right.
to be great.
Right. Got it.
Okay, another point here. השתי ציפורים לקדושה שמשם הנבואה נמשכת, הם בניין מלכות לקדושה. These two birds of holiness, from which the prophecy is drawn, they are what build the malchut of holiness. ועל כן העמדת מלך חיה על פי נבואה. And therefore, when we anoint a king, when we make a king in Am Yisrael, this person should be a king. What is the power that makes him a king? It's the power of prophecy. He has to be anointed. He has to be appointed, not anointed. He has to be appointed as a king by
the Navi, right? And through the process
by the prophet, by a prophecy. So the aspect that appoints a king is the prophecy. That's the point over here, right?
Right. Yeah.
Why is that? Because we said that the place where the birds are drawing the birds are from, the place that the song is drawn from, is the place that the prophecy is drawn from, and that's the place that builds the malchut. So what appoints the king? What builds a kingdom? It's the place where prophecy is drawn from. And so in order to appoint a king, you need a prophecy. You need the aspect of prophecy to appoint a king. Okay? מאחר ככל מלכות בדוד שהיה על פי נבואה, והנבואה נמשכת מן הכרובים, שהם בחינת שתי ציפורים כנ"ל, שהם בעניין מלכות לקדושה. The nevuah is drawn, the prophecy is drawn from the kruvim, which is the two birds. Beautiful. So the kruvim represents the two birds over here. Very nice. Which is the malchut of holiness. Which is what builds the malchut of holiness. Okay, another point here. This is, I think, the last point of the Torah. Yeah. Me'achar alot hevio. There's a pasuk that says, from behind those that nurse, he brought him. So, haynu me'achar hamenikot ki hem yankin hanevi'im v'chudu kana. It means from behind the netzach and hod. From behind the netzach and hod that are called those that nurse. Why? Because they nurse to the nevi'im. Vezeu me'achar alot. From behind those that nurse, היינו שדוד המלך עליו השלום היה יכול לתקן ולהעלות גם הנגינה שאינו מאדם כשר להעלותה אל הקדושה. The meaning of this pasuk is that David HaMelech was able, because it says what it says. What does it say in the pasuk? It says, from behind those that nurse, he brought him, meaning that he elevated him. We're going to see who him is. He elevated him to the place of those that nurse. Who is him that is behind them, and he's elevating him and returning him? That's the song of someone that is not fearing of Hashem. And that song is drawn from behind the nurses, because it's from the Achoraim, it's from the back, which is the place of the Klipa. And he's bringing that up and returning it to the front. He's returning it to the side of holiness. Okay? גם הנגינה שאינו מאדם קשר לעלותה אל הקדושה, וזהו מאחר עלות הביאו. היינו גם הנגינה שהיא מאחורי הקדושה מבחינת מאחר עלות. Even the song that is from behind the side of holiness. So it's from the side of the klipa, from behind those that nurse, from the opposite side of those that nurse. מאחר המניקות. כי הנגינה דקדושה ומתעדן וימנקין, והנגינה שאינו בקדושה היא בחינת מאחר עלות, מאחורי הקדושה. The song of holiness is from the place of the nurses the prophets, gives the energy, the life to the prophets. But on the other side, the opposite side, the side of unholiness, that's the song that is drawn from there is the song of someone that does not fear Hashem, right? The fear of Hashem is the malchut of holiness. If you have the malchut of holiness, you have the fear of Hashem. If you don't have the fear of Hashem, so then it's the malchut of the other side, and it's the 10 spirit of the other side, chas v'shalom. And therefore, this person is elevated, is rectified. David HaMelech was able to elevate that song. ודוד המלך עליו השלום היה יכול לתקן נגינה זו גם כן, ועל ידי זה נתעלה מלכות הקדושה כנ"ל, וזהו מאחר עלות הביאו לראות ביעקב. What's the continuation of the pasuk? From behind those that nurse, he brought him to tend to his people, Yaakov. This is a malchut kanal. It was through this that David HaMelech merited the malchut. From the fact that he was able to bring up the song that is behind the side of holiness, return it to the side of holiness, that means that he has the power to bring any malchut, that at any point of malchut from anywhere else in the world, anywhere else in the universe, and return it to the malchut of Hashem. And that's why he merited this aspect of malchut in complete perfection. He has the ability to draw malchut, song from anywhere, and return it to the malchut of Hashem, to rectify the malchut. That's why he receives the malchut of holiness. That's the end of this Torah.
Very nice.
Do you mind summing it up?
Summing up the Torah, very simple. The Torah is speaking about song and how song is drawn from the place that builds the Malchut's consciousness, which is Netzach and Hod. And therefore, when someone sings a song, if that person is connected to the Malchut of holiness, he has the fear of Hashem, then his song is drawn from the side of holiness, the consciousness that builds the Malchut. Whereas someone who sings a song and that person is not connected to the side of holiness, his song will be drawn from that same place on the side of unholiness, on the side of the Klippa, which is the consciousness of the Malchut of the Klippa, the Netzach and Hod of the Malchut of the Klippa. Now, when a person wants to rectify and fix that, it's very important to fix that, as we see in the Torah, because if a person fixes the song of holiness, then a person will be able to build the Malchut of holiness, because that's the place that builds the consciousness of the Malchut. And that's extremely important. That's actually the goal of everything that we're doing in this world. And how do you do that? So Rabbi Nachman says that by learning Torah, by learning the oral Torah, the Torah Shebaal Peh. But it's not enough just to learn the Torah Shebaal Peh, because if a person learns the Torah Shebaal Peh with ulterior motives, it won't help. The Torah Shebaal Peh is the part of the Torah that's corresponding to the Malchut, and therefore by learning it, you are building the consciousness of the Malchut. So what does a person do to save himself from to the negative effects of the ulterior motives, right? The serpent. You need the raven. And what is that? That's by learning the Torah at night. The oral Torah, you learn it at night. When you learn the oral Torah at night, there's this kindness, this light of kindness is drawn upon the person that saves him from the negative effects of the ulterior motives. And that's the way that a person rectifies the song of holiness, the consciousness that builds the Malchut of holiness. And he will be meriting through that the song of the Klippa will not have a negative effect upon him. That's how rectified he will be in the Malchut of holiness. The consciousness within the Malchut of holiness will be so strong within this person that even if he by chance hears a song of the other side, it will not negatively impact him in any way. Okay, that's it. We're good for today now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess. Right.